Hello everyone. Today I'm going to change the clutch for the fan on the car. I noticed my old one. I thought it was good, but especially when it warms up, when you're giving the car gas and you lift, it almost like it even revs a little bit higher and then slowly comes back down, like the clutch isn't disengaging. So I'm hoping this will take care of it. I picked this one up this morning at O'Reilly's. It was $49.99. Comes with a clutch, and for some reason they give you new lock washers. So that's what the clutch looks like for your fan, and then that's the part number. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to try to show you what this car is doing. I don't know how well it's going to show up on video or you'll hear it on the video, but I'm going to rev the engine up, and when I let go of the throttle, it stays revved up for a second or two and then comes back down. It doesn't drop immediately like I think it should. And I think that clutch is causing the engine to maintain a higher RPM for a second because it's not releasing. So here it goes. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's almost like it's continuing revving up after I let go of the throttle. So I'm going to change the clutch now, and we'll see if that made a difference. Okay, so all you need is a 1/2-inch wrench. There's 4 nuts that hold it to the water pump hub, and then there's 4 nuts that hold the fan to the clutch itself. I'm going to see if I can just take these 4 nuts off and be able to slip this whole assembly out without taking the fan loose too. I think I can, but I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've had this off. And I didn't use lock washers on my nuts because I used, they call them elastic stop nuts or nylocks or something like that. They have the nylon sleeve in the end of them, so that works like a lock washer, and I just think it looks better than lock washers. So if you just have regular nuts, you definitely want to use lock washers with your nuts. And I don't like working with gloves. I always drop things and stuff. I can't get a good grip on stuff, but I had to start the car up and warm it up a little bit to show you what it was doing before with the old clutch. So I'm wearing gloves right now. It's just a little toasty. And you can kind of pull it around. Actually, that belt's a little loose. I might need to tighten that up. And there's studs that screw into the hub on the water pump that your nuts go on. And sometimes the stud will screw out of the hub instead of out of the nut. So that's what this one's doing right here. You can kind of see, which is no big deal. You're just wanting to get them off. It doesn't matter which way they come off. Yeah, you can still, even when your belts are properly tight, you can still pull it around like that. It seems like one direction it'll go easier than the other, but mine feels just a little bit loose. Belt just doesn't feel that tight, so I might snug my alternator down a little bit. I haven't adjusted them since I put the motor back together, so they're all new belts, so they might have stretched a little bit. Usually you'll hear them squealing a little bit if they're too loose, and I did notice the other day when I kind of revved it up, I heard a little squeal. You know, be careful you don't want to over tighten them either. Put too much pressure on your bearings in the alternator and stuff, and the water pump, you're just causing extra wear. Okay, that's all 4 nuts. There's a little shaft that sticks out on that water pump that sits on, so sometimes you got to kind of wiggle it. You want to be careful not to throw it against your radiator, poke a hole in your radiator as you're pulling it off. It's easier to do this when the engine's cool. Yeah, it came right out. Okay, the 4 screws on the back that hold the fan onto the clutch are also 1/2 inch, and those should have lock washers too. I think I'll use the lock washers that came in that pack when I put this back together. Okay, the fan should just lift off of there, like that. And you can see the clutches look a little bit different, but they're basically the same size and everything. Looks like I'm gonna have to take the studs out of here. So I'm gonna have to do is double nut those. You put a nut down on top of it, like that, and screw another one down Okay, so as I was saying, let me get that a little closer to the camera. I screwed 2 nuts on it, and then what you want to do, you want to just kind of lock them together like that, and then you should be able to back that stud out. Okay, I got this first one broke loose. Oop, let me hit the camera. So what I'm going to do is, while I've got these 2 nuts on this, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the new one. So rather than take them all out of the old one and then put them in the new one, you know what? I'm not going to be able to do that. This has coarse threads in it, and I don't know if you can tell on the stud, but those are fine threads. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have to use bolts in place of these studs, which again is no big deal. I just hope I have short enough bolts. Okay, so you just put the, I'm using grade 8 bolts. I just like because they're gold plated. You could use a grade 5, it'd be just fine. That's what was in it. And then a lock washer. And we'll tighten them down. That should take care of it. Okay, we're ready to put it back on the car. There we go. Get the camera reset and I'll fire it up and see what it sounds like. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's definitely, as soon as I let go of the throttle, it idles back down again. It doesn't do that kind of rev up and sit there and then go back down. So that other clutch was definitely bad. And to me, it didn't feel bad. Normally it'll either be like locked up tight or they'll spin real free. This one had friction to it like they normally do. It felt the same as the new one, but once you add temperature to them, they might not operate properly, you know, lock up or let go because they're worn out. So you want to not just trust that they feel like the new one, because that doesn't necessarily mean they're good. So anyway, that's my video for the day. I hope it was enjoyable and you learned something. And like I always say, you know, if you like our videos, please hit the like and subscribe, share them with a friend, and have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.